Good morning, everyone. My name is Timothy Goodness. I'm here to persuade you to avoid practicing female genital mutilation, which is otherwise called female genital cutting or female circumcision. This practice is the process of cutting the external female genital, which is mostly practiced in Africa, Asia, and Middle East. In 2016, UNICEF estimated that 200 women living today have passed through this process, and 27 in 30 different countries, and 27 out of these countries are all African countries. So it's commonly found and practiced in African countries. This process is rooted in traditionalist Islamic ideas about sexuality, purity, modesty, and beauty, and it's actually carried out by women who see it as a source of honor and believing that they do not want their daughters and granddaughters to be exposed to sexuality. So as such, what they do is they use a traditional circumciser, which is otherwise called the blade, to cut the external female parts, which is actually very deadly and dangerous, as the girls pass through of a lot of consequences. Most of them bleed to death. Most of them have pregnancy complications during childbirth. Most of them have tend to have low self-esteem. Most of them even pass through psychological trauma. Most of them don't even know themselves, as they feel they are just a figure in the whole world. So this process actually has a lot of bad bad consequences other than the good consequences. And there have been international efforts to end female genital mutilation, but all have been proved to vain, as this process has actually been practiced from the early age. The procedures are generally performed by a traditional circumciser, otherwise called the cutter. Now, these things are done without anesthesia, so the girls are actually awake while the procedure is being performed, which is actually not too good at all. And the person who performs this procedure is really an older woman who believes she knows how to do it, or otherwise the male barber in the community, the one who cuts hair, will be the one to perform this role. And all these are done without health benefits. All these are done in unhygienic conditions. Now, what they use razors, they use scissors, they use glass, they use anything sharp, and they even use fingernails to perform this procedure. According to a nurse in Uganda, which was quoted in 2007, the Lancet, a cutter, will use one knife on up to 30 girls at a time, which means that they can only use just one cutter. They will use it on all 30 girls, which is actually very unhygienic, and as such, they are not professionals at the same time. And more also, this is unhygienic and the it's against health as a whole. Women in Egypt reported in 1995 that the local anesthetic had been used on their daughters in 60% of cases. Now, this local anesthetic isn't healthy at all, because it this local anesthetic isn't good, as the girls tend to even be awake while the procedure is being performed. Female genital mutilation is divided into three types. We have the type 1, where there is a partial or total removal of the clitoris or the prepuce. Then we have the type 2, where there is a complete or partial removal of the inner labia, with or without removal of the clitoris glands and outer labia. Then we have the type 3, which is the sewn closed category. This involves the removal of the external genitalia and the fusion of the wound. All these three types are so nauseating. All these three types are not types that one should be proud of, because these three types don't have any health benefit at all. These three types are just and are just in are just these three types are not healthy at all. The complications of female genital mutilation is divided into two: the short-term and the long-term process. Female genital mutilation harms women's physical and emotional health throughout their lives, and it has no known health benefits. The short-term and long-term late complications depends on the type of female genital mutilation, as I talked earlier, which divided into 3 types. The common short-term complications include swelling, pain, urine retentions, and healing problems, which also include wound infections, and most of them die after after they are not able to treat the wounds. A 2014 systematic review of 56 studies suggested that over 1 in 10 girls and women undergoing any form of female genital mutilation, including symbolic nicking of the clitoris, experience immediate complications, which means that even at that point when they are done with the procedure, 1 in 10 girls actually 1 in 10 girls 1 in 10 girls go through the problems immediately. The late complications are varied depending on the type of female genital practice, okay, and they include the formation of scars and scalars that leads to strictures and obstruction, epidermal cysts that may become infected, and neuroma formation. All this prevents the growth of nerve tissue, including the nerves that supply the during pregnancy and childbirth. Female genital mutilation places women at higher risk of problems during pregnancy and childbirth, which is more common with the extensive female genital mutilation procedures. When women are about to give birth, they tend to pass through a lot of problems, providing the fact that the external female genital has actually cut off. So it proves very difficult for them to give birth easily. This practice in general is very deadly. This practice isn't hygienic. This practice has no health benefits, and we can stop this practice by teaming up as women, by teaming up as girls, by teaming up as women who know the value of stopping this practice, by shunning all ignorance and getting information across to people that this practice isn't good, that this practice isn't hygienic. So we can educate little children. We can also stop the practice if we know one who is practicing it. We can help stop female genital mutilation as the victims who have passed through this aren't good aren't as the victims have passed through a lot, and we can stop other victims from getting through with this procedure. So we can stand up and fight against female genital mutilation. Let's stop cutting girls. Let's preserve the virtue of women. Thank you.